Hi all. Today I have come up with a topic called data types in R. How we can distinguish each column in R similar to Python. So how we can distinguish in a different perspectives when we have a data frame, when we have a vector, or when we have an integer, a numeric value. So it have a vast kind of data types in R. So let's learn the numeric value. So now I'll give the numeric value in an editor window and make the comment here, and we are creating a variable called x. So we want to pass some real numbers. So real numbers are nothing but your whole numbers or integers, fractions, and so on. So all that comes under a numeric category in R. So let's pass some decimal value here. So when you execute here, so x variable showing stores 34.4. So now let's see what kind of the type of variable it is taking off. So when we pass is x variable, so the class is nothing but to give the data structure of your variable. So it tells you that it's a numeric value. So now we will see how the integer value looks like. And when we pass some y variable here, and we will pass 45L. So L will tell you that to make that value as an integer. So when you print that the variable of y, so it tells you that it's an integer value. So let's assume we can make this as a numeric. So when you remove L, and it is tells you that it's a numeric. So default in R, if you don't mention L, it tells you that's an numeric value. So if you mention an L, it tells you that it's an integer value. So in this way, you can write your code when you define different type of variables here. We can learn about another data type called logic. So logic is nothing but it's your boolean in Python. It's a true statement or whether it is a false statement it will define. So let's create one more variable called xx, and we give the number called 170 and yy variable called 200. So let's see whether we can see this variables like this logic is right or not. So we will write like x is greater than yy. So when you print the statement, so we'll see whether it's giving the right statement or not. So it's false. Why it is false? Is it 170 is greater than 200? No way. So it's giving the right answer. So now we will write like result 1, and we will give the statement like it's less than yy. So when you print the result here, let's see whether what kind of result it is giving. It's true. Yes, so 170 is less than 200. So this statement is true. So in this way, the logic can be can be defined in your the way you write your program. So we learned the numeric, we learned integer, we learned logic. So now we will learn a character data type. So character data type, so what do you think? So it should be in a character. It should not be a integer or it should not be a numeric. So now we will write as char variable, and we will define as author. So when you print this option char, so it is giving you an order, but you want to see what kind of data type is this. So let's close the brackets, let's execute. So it is defining you here in the console as a character. So this is how you can define your character data type of variable. Now we can learn about a raw data type. So you might think, what is this? So it's a data type which specifies the value as a raw bytes. So where you can convert the raw to character and the vice versa, the character to the raw. So let's see what we can do. So I write like a variable called ty and I convert this into raw to character now. So let's give the very some kind of text, like right now I'm reserved in teaching. So when I execute this, so it is telling you the x value. So now before going into it, simply write to raw to character first. Okay, so maybe I'll debug that one in the next one, how to do this. So now it is telling you that it's of 26 of length and it is giving this value in a raw bytes. So when you print this option, let's see how this looks like. So it's giving in a raw bytes. So now we will see what kind of class or what kind of data type this one. So now it is giving you the raw. So now we will go for another one, tyc, and we will write now this to raw to character. So now we will give yty, and when you print this, so it's telling you that right now. So it is converting this raw to a character. That's why we had an error before. So where is that error? I think it's gone now. So this is how you can debug. And when you print this option, tyc, so it's giving you that the right now I'm busy in teaching. So let's see what kind of data type this one. So once you execute this, it's giving you the character. So this is how you can convert this kind of data type either to raw to character to raw or raw to character. So this kind of data types can be defined more, how we can write a calculations or how we defined in kind of statistical analysis. So each variable is so much important. So how do we define is much more important when you get a receive a data. So always good to check the data types before we start writing your code. So see whether this kind of variables are getting converted in any other format. Especially sometimes we have received some datetime variables, or we especially will struggle with the numeric variables where we have a missing values. So we'll encounter lot of challenges. So how do we do it? How do we define that, or how do we clean your data? How do you write your statistical modeling will be taught in the next classes. Stay tuned.